real briefly about shoulder adjusters. Can I borrow you, Justin? Fortunately for you guys, not a lot of people know how to do this the right way, especially at the lower belts, so it's probably not something you have to worry as much about, but somebody that knows what they're doing with this, it'll be a submission, right? So what I don't want to do when I get here is just grab my own hands and start squeezing and dropping my shoulder down, because there's lots of space, and if that might hurt him a little bit, but I'm not trying to hurt him, but I'm not really accomplishing anything. All I really want to do is prevent Justin from looking at me. If he can't turn his face, look at me, okay, then it's going to be easier for him to turn his body towards me. If he can't turn his face, then it's harder for him to turn his body. So I only need enough pressure to keep him from looking that direction. But if I want to make it more of a submission, then I want to extend my arm until I feel my bicep up against his neck. I'll grab his armpit, right? Then I drop my shoulder down to his chest, not across his jaw, and then I slowly drop my weight. And that's the submission, right? It doesn't take much pressure. You'll notice that my knees are on the mat right now. I'm not putting all my weight on them, but even with that, just a tiny bit. And that's it, okay? So I want to make sure you guys can do that to each other, and then we're going to counter it. Make sure you don't get tapped with it while we're escaping, okay? Back and forth. If you have trouble, raise your hand. I'll come help you. Here's what I don't want you to do. A long list of things I don't want you to do. This is what people tend to do when I do that to people. They'll panic, and in order to try and relieve the pressure, they'll go here and they'll reach and they'll try and take the pressure off of this hand, right? Number one, that won't work. Justin goes slow. Go ahead and put it on slow. And I can try and stop him a little lower towards my, lower this way. Yes. Now straight down. No. See, as you're dropping, you're going towards the top of my head. Mm-hmm. You want to sink straight down. There you go. Feel that? Knock this way. Mm-hmm. Good. So once he gets that right, I can hang on tight. Go ahead. And it's just a matter of time he's going to finish. This hand's not going to help. But the reason why I like it when people do that is look what happens to my elbow. Right? Without my elbow, I can't hold him in place to escape, so I pin myself with my elbow coming out, which is one of the reasons I use this is just to get them to do that, okay? So we don't want to do that, right? So he grabs, I'm going to bridge a little bit. As I bridge, I'm going to rotate my hand thumb down, like I'm extending my arm, so an internal rotation and get a good connection to his neck. And then I'm going to grab his body wherever to maintain that connection, and I'm going to drop back down. And now, try and choke. Oh, I can defend against that choke just because I've got a good connection, right? So if I trade spots with him. And one good way on this, because a lot of people, happens everywhere, people have trouble sinking straight down. So I say sink and they'll drive one way or the other, or they'll tilt. Sinking straight down is like this. So if I have the shoulder adjusted, and this is my arm that's choking them, if my elbow starts to come off the mat, that's a sign you're not sinking, right? You're driving. My elbow's coming off the mat. If I'm sinking, my elbow is definitely going to stay on the mat, and that's all that's going to happen is that space closes off this way, right? It's not going to tilt. It's just straight down. So I have that choke on Justin. We'll make sure I have it first. Good. Now, he gets a good connection, right? Grab and then let your body go back down and just keep that connection. And I can feel right now there's no way I can choke him, right? I actually feel once he gets the right connection that I'm not going to finish with that choke. I don't want you to stay there. That's not something we're going to try and do for a long time, but just so you survive, okay? Try it back and forth. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates because we're updating this every week, and make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.